Good evening, everyone. Episode 41, No Limits, Mike and Stace. Soon to be We Ride with Mike and Stace.
Yeah.
Still working on the rebrand with power outage and all that. Like I said before, it set us back. We're going to really focus on that this week. Get it handled.
Yep.
So we can get that out there. We're out in the backyard today. It's beautiful Mother's Day. It was up to about 80 degrees today. We actually built a fire and cooked some better cheddars on the fire.
Yeah, we did. It was delicious.
So that was good. That was good. Fire's pretty much burned out now, so we're sitting here having a few drinks, figuring we'd chat with you folks.
Yep. Happy Mother's Day, all.
Yes, happy Mother's Day. You are a two-legged and four-legged mom.
Yep.
Mama. Or as your mug says, Mama.
Mama. Very blessed. Yes. Yep.
Kevin's got a birthday coming up.
He's going to be 3.
Yep. He opened his eye. He was like, what? Who, me?
He's like, we're celebrating again? Yes, Kevin. Yes, we are.
That is a noisy freaking bird.
Yeah, it is. There are 2, actually. There's one on each side of us.
They're competing.
Yeah.
Competing with one another.
Who can be the loudest?
Mm-hmm.
Usually Mordecai takes the cake.
Yeah.
Or Blue Jay.
He is.
Anybody who's ever watched the regular show knows exactly who I'm talking about.
All right.
Yeah.
So what are we chatting about this evening? Parenting.
Parenting, yeah. Well, I feel like it's a fitting topic for Mother's Day, right?
It's a good topic for Mother's Day. Good topic.
Yeah.
Parenting in general, or parenting little kids, adult kids?
Well, in general, since we have adult children, so we have parented all of the above. Mm-hmm. From, obviously, birth to adulthood.
Yeah. What do you think is more difficult?
Adulthood, hands down, is...
Parenting adult kids is more difficult?
For sure.
Why?
Because I feel like, it's scary, of course, when you have your newborn, and you're like, they're sending us home with this little being? Like, yikes. But then you go home and you learn. And as they grow, you grow as a parent as well. And you learn more and more. But you know that they're safe. You know that they're taken care of and everything that they need, they have, right? Your only worry is when you send them out into the world, you send them to school, to their friends, but you're only a text or a phone call away. But then they grow up. And you think that, oh man, when they grow up, like, I'm just going to have all this freedom. But the worry never stops. In fact, if anything, I think it gets worse. Because now they're off to college. Or they move out on their own. And the worry is just, are they safe? Did they eat today? What did they eat today? You know what I mean?
So basically what you're saying is it's nonstop worry.
Pretty much.
Just different
it's different levels of worry.
I think from my perspective, I don't know. I don't necessarily want to say easier one way or the other. I think it's more frustrating to parent adult kids but it's funny because then I think back to when I was turning into an adult and my parents were trying to parent me and I'm like
yeah.
This is probably the payback, because I didn't listen, but I think for me it was a completely different experience than you for little kids because the kiddo's mom and I split when she was 3, and I
Yeah,
traveled 50 weeks out of the year.
sure.
So I was gone an awful lot and trying to maintain that relationship with the kiddo. It was difficult. It was very difficult. Our relationship's good, but I think it probably could have been better.
Sure.
If I'd have been around more. But I mean,
But we do what we have to do,
yeah,
you know?
you do what you have to do. So,
Yeah.
now, calls for advice. That's good, and
Yeah.
sometimes even takes the advice. How about that?
Yeah. Which is great. Yeah.
Yeah. We have a lot of life experience. So, I'm sure people listening to this right now probably shaking their heads. Yeah. Damn kids, freaking listen. Just listen to us.
Yeah. I
We
mean,
know what we're talking about.
right. We're coming from a good place. Like, we have been there, done that.
Mhm.
And we just want them to do better than us, always.
Yeah, you always want more and I remember my dad told me that, years and years ago. You always want more for your kids than what you had, and I took that to heart, and I always tried to make sure that they had more, or she had more, so yeah, it's true. You always want more
Yeah.
for them, and then they don't fucking listen.
No. It gets kind of frustrating.
It does. It does.
It's definitely more frustrating when they're older.
Mm.
Because when they're little, it's a little bit different,
Yeah, I think it's probably the wrong word for it, but you have more control of the situation. Well, I guess it's probably the right word. You have more control of the situation when they're younger.
They live under your roof. You have the final say.
And then, they get older and you have to trust that the values and the work ethic and, discipline that, you try to instill in them, is it.
Yeah.
You know,
It follows them into adulthood.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure. Like, I definitely feel like I was a better little kid mom. Like, I'll get down on the floor with you. I'll play cars. We'll color. Watch the cartoons. Hence some of the cartoon references, because God knows I watched a lot of them. And in fact, still sometimes I do. Every now and again when we're on vacation, we'll put SpongeBob on.
You do.
Little memorabilia from my kids.
You're a big SpongeBob fan.
Well, SpongeBob is hilarious. There are a lot of adult undertones in SpongeBob. So I appreciated that, having watched cartoons for a lot of hours, for a lot of years. I appreciated the adult undertones in some of the cartoons, because I was like, thank you. It's a little bit entertaining for me as well. Yeah.
I didn't watch Elizabeth. Oh, jeez. She liked Barney.
Oh, I liked Barney.
What the fuck, Barney?
Big old purple dinosaur.
I hated watching Barney.
Man, I'll tell you, sometimes I'd put the video on because we still had VHS at that point. And maybe or maybe not rest my eyes for a little bit.
Back in the
Just saying.
Back in the dark ages when you had VHS.
Yeah.
And you had to rewind.
Be kind, rewind.
Be kind, rewind.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Really, though, but it wasn't really that long ago. 20 some years ago. Well, I mean, I guess it was.
You know, the funny thing, and this is nothing to do with parenting, but if you think back to watching a VHS,
Mm-hmm.
and if you were to hook up a VHS to a TV now, VHS compared to HD. Holy shit.
Oh man, we're spoiled now.
We are very spoiled because there is like no comparison.
No, back then the rabbit ears, and sometimes you'd have to beat on the top of the TV. Like ours had a crack in the top because we beat on it so much. I'm unsure why. At this point, I have no idea why we were like beating our TV up. But it would make it work.
Because that's what you did.
I don't know.
That's what you did.
Rabbit ears with the foil.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys have that?
Right, we had that.
What in the world? A little bit off topic, but that's actually hilarious.
Yeah, it's interesting now. You know, even the sound quality of stuff. You know, the record players, but you know, vinyl is definitely coming back.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a lot of people love the sound of vinyl. Hell, we listen to more streaming music than probably anything. You know.
Well, I love the streaming music because we can collab. Like we can put my music, your music, our music, and create an entire playlist.
Yep.
So I love that. That's something you couldn't do back in the day.
No, you would have.
Well, I guess that would be a
mixtape. Yeah, it would be a mixtape.
Yeah. Oh man.
Imagine a mixtape on the bike. Oh my.
Whew. I don't know if I'm here to go back. Like I don't know if I'm here for that. I'm perfectly content with HD, the sound that we have, the sound quality, hooking your Bluetooth up. I've definitely moved with the times. Will continue to move with the times, and I'm very appreciative of all of the new things that computers and whatnot has to offer.
Yeah, and some like the one little wireless speaker that we have, it sounds freaking great. I would put that up against some of the sound systems we had when we were younger.
Listen though, I used to have this system in my
and
bedroom.
it's just little.
And it was like one of those stereos, you know what I'm saying? It was like, It was a system. I had a record player, the stereo, and then I had the dual cassette player.
Yep.
Oh, man. You could party like a rock star. Of course, you'd have to record it, right? You'd have to call into your favorite station, request the song that you wanted, wait for them to play it, press record as soon as you could, but then sometimes there was a lot of times that the DJ was still flapping at the intro of your song. You know what I mean? Oh,
what was it? What system was it?
I have no idea.
I had my dad bought me, I don't even remember what year it was, but he bought me, remember Radio Shack?
Yeah.
The Realistic brand?
Yeah.
That's what I had. It was Realistic brand. And it was the same thing. It had the...
You have like the bottom section where you could like open it up and like put your records and tapes and that in there.
Yep. And it also had the port, so I had the first CD player that came out looked like actually looked like a DVD player.
I don't think I had that.
Yeah, it was the size of a freaking DVD player. So I had that. I plugged that in, and
I don't know. In my room, I had that. I had a TV. I had Nintendo. Man, I lived it. We lived it.
We did. Yeah. It was cool going through all those changes.
Yeah, it was. Well, I think it really prepared us for now. You know, the only thing that's guaranteed in like digital life is change. It is going to continue to change, grow, and like I say at work, especially with like a lot of the older folks, if you don't change and grow with it, you get left behind because it's like a daily thing, you know?
That's true.
It can be frustrating, overwhelming, but it is what it is. I mean, we used to have to sit there for dial-up.
Good old dial-up.
Dial-up. We had internet at Mom's, so that was, we had a computer and internet at Mom's, so that was exciting.
I think we got off topic.
You know, as per usual, we got off topic, but I mean, kind of we were discussing like us as kids, so.
Yeah. That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
So I didn't hear it today because I didn't have my hearing aids in. I'm at that age where, you know, I'm hearing.
You know,
Actually,
being a little bit older than me and whatnot.
I need hearing aids. I have really bad. And what I recently found out is it's not pronounced tinnitus; it's tinnitus. But I have this constant ringing in my ears, and it is very loud. So I actually got hearing aids to pump white noise into my ears to help mask it. And I think I found a setting that actually works fairly well.
That's good, because you still need to be able to hear me, because God knows I'm loud enough.
Yep. But I wasn't able to hear what was going on. We went for a ride today, and on the way back, we had to stop at the beer distributor.
Responsibilities.
Yes, the bike will hold plenty of beer for us. I mean, we had to get some groceries.
In the event that anybody was curious.
The bike will hold beer and groceries.
And groceries, yeah.
So we had to stop.
Well, thank goodness we had Kev's carrier on there.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't want to come today. He decided, you know, it's my birthday week, so I'm going to hang out at home. That's fine. You're the birthday boy.
Mm-hmm. We were checking out. Well, I'll let you tell it because I didn't hear it.
Yeah, no, so we were checking out, and we always do self-checkout. And behind us, we hear this commotion. Now, back in the 80s, you would hear people screaming at their kids, because we all got screamed at. That's just what happened in the olden days. But, you know, then I imagine somebody stepped in and said, hey, maybe we shouldn't scream at our kids, which you shouldn't, because they're little, regardless as to how old they are, they're still little human beings, right? And they deserve, like, respect too. I mean, so we hear this commotion behind us, and it's this dad screaming at this little guy, and he couldn't have been more than 4. He couldn't have been. And I turn around and I try, because I am, what's the word I'm looking for? I will be confrontational. And so I try to kind of refrain, because we're in public. It's not really my battle. But, you know, you feel bad for this little kid, because what's he going to do about it? And then I hear him telling his dad that he has to go potty. I'm like, literally, I wanted to go over and be like, I mean, having worked at a school before, having children of my own, like, does your little guy need to go potty? Of course, I did none of these things, but you feel bad because his dad is so frustrated with this little guy that has to go to the bathroom. You know, we're blessed with these children. Like, these children that God has given us, they're a blessing. And some people aren't that fortunate. They maybe want children, can't have children, what have you. They can test your patience. But regardless, they're in our care. Like, God has put them in our care. And if your little guy tells you he has to go potty, you stop whatever you're doing and you take your little guy potty. It's nothing to be frustrated about. And if that makes you frustrated to the point where you're screaming and he's crying, you don't deserve that child. You don't deserve any children, to be honest.
Well, I didn't hear, and until, you know, you told me when we got outside, you know, what happened, because I didn't hear it.
Sure.
But you did tell me to look at the guy and the kid, so I did do that much, so I was able to see, you know, so I would kind of have a point of reference to what you were talking about.
Yep.
But he had 2 other kids.
Were there 2? Because it kind of seemed like he had like a whole posse.
Yeah, and they were, the other ones were older, like.
So one of them could have taken him. Yeah. I don't know. You know, I felt so bad for him. He can't take himself. He's like 4 years old. It's not like he's going to be able to go. Like, when they tell you that, you know, they need something, or
yeah, do you
especially
really
something
want your
like
kid
that
walking around the grocery store by himself, you know, to go to the bathroom?
And has to go
right. That's how abductions happen.
I don't really think that guy would have given a crap, to be completely honest with you.
Probably not.
But anyway, yeah. So that was frustrating. And disheartening, honestly.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Wish I would have heard it.
Yeah, I just kind of was like, felt like, I don't know. Like, do you do something in that instance? Don't you do something in that instance? I don't know. I felt like I should have at least said something, but then it's like others were looking too, like, what do you do? Do you know what I mean? Like, what do you do in that instance? I don't know.
You yell over, your kid's got to take a piss.
Handle it, sir. Don't be a jerk.
See what he says then.
Oh my God.
That'd be great.
I prayed for him. What are you going to do? That was at least within my control, so.
Yes.
Poor little guy.
What were we going to say?
I was just going to say, but having said that, you know.
If anybody, saw our Facebook post, last night we went, and I did not misspell downtown.
No.
When you're in Pittsburgh, it's downtown.
You're going to go downtown in that.
So, I did not misspell it, in case anybody was judging my spelling. That's how it sounds in Pittsburghese, downtown.
We have our own accent here.
So we went, we were heading, we'll tell you about where we went, after dinner, but we went, we got downtown, walked around a little bit, then we went to a place called, Whiskey Bees.
Yeah.
Which, it looks really cool from the outside. It's in, Market Square in Pittsburgh. The inside is kind of weird. Yeah,
the vibe was weird.
It's the funny thing is, it's a typical Pittsburgh, downtown Pittsburgh, restaurant where it's very narrow.
Yeah.
Like they're not wide.
That's true.
They're narrow and deep.
Yeah.
And that's, what it was, but it was just, the core in there was very odd.
Yeah.
The waitress, bartender, woman, she didn't have much of a personality, but she was very efficient.
She was very efficient. I can't even really say she was friendly because I don't know. Like, I don't know if she was I don't know if she was genuine or.
We ordered. You ordered a chicken salad.
Mm-hmm.
I ordered a Nashville hot chicken sandwich.
Sure.
And we ordered the spicy cheese starter.
Yeah.
Apparently, we needed to specify that was an appetizer because all three things came out at the same time.
And within minutes. Like, we ordered it, and within under 5 minutes, the entire order came out. And I was like, whoa. Talk about quick.
Yeah, because
they weren't real busy, so perhaps the waiting time is different when it's busy, right? But
I saw them carrying stuff back, and I was like, oh, well, somebody else must have got something, and they're just carrying our appetizer.
Sure.
No, it was all of our stuff.
Although the food was
so very good.
Like those cheese, because they were like hot cheese.
Yep, the spicy cheese.
I don't know.
Pepper jack cheese, breaded pepper jack cheese. And typically,
we're going to learn how to make that at home. Because that's
I know how.
Oh, damn.
I've seen.
Okay, well, we're doing it. We're doing it. Because it's so good, and we order it all the time.
And what typically you get, when you get hot pepper cheese balls, you get usually ranch or blue cheese.
Sure.
Or, this came with marinara, which I typically, if it's just regular cheese balls or provolones or something, yes, I want marinara.
Right.
But the hot stuff, I usually want, ranch or blue cheese.
Kind of
marinara
cool.
Was good.
Marinara went. It really worked.
It worked very well.
And the marinara was good. Like, I was kind of, I don't know. I would definitely give the food probably 5 stars, to be honest. The dressing kind of was just like your golden Italian that comes out of, like, the big jug. But you can't go wrong with it, honestly.
My chicken was good. It was good consistency. A lot of times you get that
weird,
funky,
whatever it is at this point.
I forget what the chicken's called. I've looked it up a few times, but
yeah,
it didn't have any of that. It was thick, good consistency.
It looked
very
good.
flavorful and it was hot. My asshole was on fire this morning. a couple of
My.
times. But Nashville hot, I mean, there you go.
There you go. I mean, it is what it is, right?
The beer was cold, so that was good. We did that. And then we went to a church downtown where you saw it popped up on your newsfeed, right? In Facebook, or
What are we talking about? Oh, yeah, it popped up on the candlelight. Yeah. It popped up on my Facebook, and I was like, what is this?
So it was basically a candlelight concert. So started doing some research to find a little more information about it. It is in a church. They have a couple hundred candles, and they're the battery operated candles. And then they had 4 string musicians.
So quartet, yep.
So a little quartet playing, and the tickets we got were for Friday nights, the classic rock. But they had different ones. They had a Taylor Swift one. I don't even remember all the other ones, but I was like, oh, the classic rock.
Yeah.
When we go, and they play for an hour, and it's classic rock music, quartet, no singing,
No.
just
no percussion,
4 strings.
Yep.
And it was cool.
It was real cool.
It was real cool.
Yeah.
Getting to
the church was absolutely gorgeous. The vibe was just amazing.
And apparently, so they stress the fact that when you're there, beforehand, take all the pictures you want, take all the video that you want. The last song, you can take all the pictures and video you want without flash. Understandable.
Sure.
But during the rest of it, no pictures, no video, no nothing.
Just out of respect.
Out of respect.
For the musicians and also the
people sitting behind
your
you.
fellow, audience.
And apparently, some people didn't properly parent their kids because they don't know how to follow rules. Look, there's some rules you follow, and yes, I'm going to say it, there's some rules you don't follow.
Right, and it's funny because there are rules that you were like a real stickler about, like, we're doing it this way, and I'm like, and then vice versa. There are some that I'm like, no, this is how it is, and you're like,
Yep.
Nothing, of course, I get you, it's just,
And then there's some where both like, oh no, you don't do that.
Right, like this is what it is.
And there was an older woman, 2 pews.
Yep. Yeah, because we're in a church, so it was 2 pews
in front of us.
Yeah.
She kept turning on the damn video.
She pulls her phone up, and I'm like, ma'am. And again, so confrontational me
the bright
is
lights
like
from
literally
her video, because they have all these candles and they turn out all the other lights.
Yeah.
So the only light is
the candles, and it's the ambiance, and it's just
concert.
Correct.
And then she's turning on her goddamn phone.
And let's discuss this. Let's discuss this. Now, this is coming from me, who literally has my phone on. What do I average? What is it, like 3 hours and some odd minutes a day? And that's an average, because some days it's certainly more. And I mean, this isn't just social media. I read. I watch the flicks on there. But I mean, my phone is never more than an arm's length away from me, even in bed. This is coming from somebody who my phone is my lifeline. And I even had my phone off in my purse. Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Like, don't be a fucking dick. She was being a dick. And
sure.
I was so pissed because they were only like 5 or 6 pews back. So that means that us and everybody behind us could also see her. What a jerk.
Yeah.
I wanted to say something, to be quite honest with you, but that would have created more of a scene. So it's just like, let it,
Well, I
just
told you
let it
yesterday
happen.
I was going to do the cough, but again, it would have caused a bigger scene.
But what
So.
makes people think? Just a curiosity. And if ever anybody has the answer to this, or even has a theory, that'd be great. Drop it in the comments of this post for this podcast. But what do we think makes people think that they have the right, or that they're better than or above the rules? And that, like, I don't give a crap about the people behind me. I'm going to sit here with my phone on because I want this video. Don't you think we all want that video? Don't you think we all would have loved to have taken videos? Because since it was classic rock, a lot of the songs were songs that we knew, songs that we loved.
Sweet Child of Mine.
Yeah, it was amazing.
It would have been
great.
Oh,
that would have been amazing.
To have that.
And let me also just add, and this is also just kind of a shout out to the older folks about technology. Just to say that there is a little in your settings where you can put it on dark mode and you can turn your brightness down. Here's just a little shout out. And if you don't know how to do it, Google it. Because she could have done that, it wouldn't have been as bad, because as soon as that happened, I turned mine all the way down, turned the brightness all the way down, and it's not as bad, right? But the video still turned out amazing. My pictures turned out amazing. But you were, and they, at that point, told you they were permitted to go ahead and take pictures and video and whatnot for the last song, which makes perfect sense, because I'm sure that they get that we were going to want to take videos and pictures and whatnot, right? But, like, what, man, does that make me angry? What the frick? And, like, at what point, like, did your parents not teach you the shit? Like, that kind of goes back to parenting. So it kind of segues in, ties into our parenting. And, I mean, I get that you were parented many, many years ago. All right? But that doesn't give you the right to be a freaking dick.
I think, one of the biggest problems, nowadays is people don't think of other people.
Well, I think COVID ruined that.
So, they're up there.
Or enhanced it.
They know what the rules are, but they don't care. They're not thinking about, everybody behind. They're just concerned about themselves.
Well, perhaps the rest of us should police that shit. And statistically, if you look how many folks were in that church, and the fact that they were the only ones that were doing it, because I looked around, because I'm a people watcher. Yeah. So statistically, I would say that all hope for humanity is not lost, because the majority of people were not doing that. Right. It was just them. And, of course, they just so happened to be in front of us.
I'm just happy that the church didn't collapse when I walked in. So, I mean, there's that.
Oh, my gosh. So. Beautiful church.
It was.
Absolutely gorgeous.
It is. And I walk by it, a couple times a week whenever I go to the office.
Yeah.
So, it is. Yeah. Do better, people.
Yeah, I mean...
Think of others.
You're not the only person on this planet, I assure you. And to be honest with you, one day, you continue to do things like this, someone's going to call you out. Mm-hmm. And it might not end well for you.
Yeah.
You might get popped in the face. You never know.
You never know. Yeah, like we said, there's rules that you follow.
Sure.
Rules that you bend.
Sure. And we each have different opinions on that. But this was one that,
that you do. Because you don't want to take away from the experience of everybody else.
Right.
And that's what you're doing.
That's exactly what they were doing. Because then at that point, like, we're literally sitting here talking about it right now.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Yeah. And I literally said to you, if I see this woman in the bathroom, I'm saying something. Lucky for her, I did not. Maybe make you think for the next time.
There's a lot going on in town last night.
And also, people, listen, the bathrooms, grown-ass women I go to the bathroom before because, we have a couple drinks or whatever, and then you break the seal, and then you have to go to the bathroom. Okay? So I go to the bathroom before. Of course, it's an old-style church, whatnot. Very clean. Very clean bathroom. 2 stalls. Go in there. Everybody does their business. You go back up. Take your seat. After the fact, prior to leaving, decide we're going to go to the bathroom again. You never know how long it's going to take to get home, whatnot. Right? Go to the bathroom. Yeah, that place was a freaking mess. There were, I don't know. You go into the stall, there's watered up, I don't know if it's paper towels, I don't know what it is. I don't know what you women are doing in this bathroom. And first of all, that's why it takes us so freaking long in line to go to the bathroom. Get in there, do your business, wash your hands, get out. It's not rocket science, okay? Why am I waiting in line for you to do whatever the frick it was that people were doing to that toilet paper? And they're, let's go, right? I come out, I go in there, I'm like, well, this is a mess. Go to the bathroom, do my business, come out, wash my hands, then I go to the paper towels to dry my hands. Well, there's like paper towels on the floor, there's like shredded, and I'm like, okay, this is our generation, and we were probably just for looking around the youngest of the folks around there, and we're certainly not young, right? Gen X. I mean, we're kind of older at this point. Your mother doesn't work here. Clean up after your fucking self. Go to the bathroom. Do your business. Make sure it looks like what it did when you came in there. Wash your hands. Dry your hands. Throw the shit in the garbage. Dip. This isn't difficult. And don't be a menace.
Parenting 101.
There you go.
Men's room is clean. I'm just throwing
and
it
that's
out there.
rare. All right. Typically, it's the other way around, but I don't know. Those women that were in town in the bathroom at the church, probably just like the woman in front of us, videoing it.
Probably.
Dear God, clean up after yourself. Don't dick around in the bathroom. Do your business. Wash your hands. Throw your paper towel away. Dip. There you go.
There you go. There you go.
There you go. Gave you a bathroom lesson. Didn't even
Thank
know you were
you.
going to get one.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Well, and on that note, since you said the dip, I think it's time to
word.
dip. Sunday evening.
Yeah, Sunday evening, Mother's Day. Hope everyone's
Mother's Day.
having a
Yeah.
blessed day, enjoying the beautiful day that we've been given.
Yeah, enjoy the rest of it, and have a good evening, all. And we will chat next week. With that, Mike and Stace signing off.
Have a good week, everyone. Bye.